Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Bournemouth University'de Medya Prodüksiyon Yüksek Lisans Programları ve Kariyer Olanaklarını Nurya, Fil ve Talya'dan dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Nurya, the stage is yours now.
Oh, thank you very much, Zeynep. And hello to everyone and welcome to Bournemouth University webinar. My name is Nuria Moyano and I work at Bournemouth University in the International Office as Regional Manager for East Asia, Turkey and Spain as well. And we have prepared a presentation for you. So just to give you some more information about the university in general, but also about the programs that we offer in our media production department. And then we have as well one of our senior academics with us, Dr. Phil Matthews, who will be talking to you about the programs. And then our student ambassador, Talia. She's also an alumni. She has studied a master program in Foundations in Clinical Psychology at Bournemouth University a couple of years ago. And now she's just finishing her master's degree in marketing and communications. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So just let me share my screen with you and hopefully someone can actually confirm if you can see it. Can someone confirm, please?
Yeah. Can you make it presentation mode, Nuria?
Just give me a couple of seconds because my computer is sometimes a little bit slow. So I'm going just to
Perfect.
Okay, I think now is the perfect view, no, for you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. So we have started with the introduction. So just a little bit of information about the university, where we are and who we are. So Bournemouth University is located in the south coast of England, as you can see in the map, in a town called Bournemouth. Bournemouth is a very nice, cosmopolitan, international place. It's one of the first choice destinations for tourism. And it's very famous for its 15 kilometers of sandy beaches. And it's very, as a first choice destination for tourism, attracts quite a lot of people nationally, but also internationally. And we have quite a lot of language schools as well. So it's a very young, cosmopolitan environment, the one that we have at Bournemouth. So the university was established in 1992, and before that it was a polytechnic. But prior to being a polytechnic, it was a college. So we've been teaching for 75 years already. We specialize in professional-oriented programs, and what it means is that we always work with the industries to ensure that we have the practical element in our courses. So we ensure that our students develop the skills that the employers are looking for. So that is what why we always say that we are a vocational university in one way. During the last few years, we have invested more than £250 million in our facilities, in our buildings, and also in our academia. So if you decide to come to Bournemouth, you will be studying in with first-class facilities and studying fantastic, buildings and beautiful campus as well. So in terms of rankings, we have done very well at Bournemouth University, and this year particularly, we've been up 26 places according to the Times Good University Guide, and 17 places up as well according to The Guardian. That places Bournemouth University 56 in the UK, according to the rankings, and from 125 different universities. So when we look at the world rankings, we have done also very well. We are one of the top 400 universities in the world and amongst the best 100 young universities under 15 years of age. As I mentioned, we have two campuses. Talbot campus is the home for all our undergraduate students and most of our postgraduate students. Our Faculty of Media and Communications, all the courses are delivered at Talbot, so you will be studying for the in the campus, which is an enclosed campus with all the facilities, like at the bank. We have accommodation, which we will be looking at just later on. And also we have shops as well, pubs and restaurants. It's a medium-sized university according to the UK standards, and around 19,000 students, 2,800 international, and they are coming from over 135 countries. So it's really international. We have some Chinese students today in the chat, and also Turkish students, just to let you know that we have around 70 students from Turkey and around 110 students from China at the university. So Bournemouth is a very popular choice university for our these two countries. As I was mentioning, the accommodation, we offer accommodation like any other UK university. The difference is our accommodation is guaranteed as well. As part of this investment, our accommodation is very good. And you have different choices of accommodation. You can stay in the student village, which is houses that our students share with other students, and you share the bathroom, the communal areas, and the kitchens as well with the students from your house. Then you have another option, which is the student halls or the apartments, where our students they only share the communal areas, the kitchens, and the living rooms with the students from your apartment. However, all the bedrooms are individual bedrooms, and also you have en suite. And all the accommodation is equipped with Wi-Fi, utility bills. Also, we have a laundry. So any facilities that you need, they will be available to you. The cost vary, depends on the accommodation that you choose. The cheapest option is the uni-led, which is private accommodation, but is managed by the university, and usually they tend to be houses. But the halls of residence, it could be between £140 per week to £200 per week for the student apartments. So we will be looking at the programs. Dr. Phil Matthews is going to talk to you about more in depth of the content, the structure, and employment opportunities as well in the programs. From me, just very general information covering all the programs. So all the masters in media production are 12 months length, and they start in September. They are specialist masters, and what it means is that we will be looking for candidates that have a bachelor's degree or a background in the area that they are going to study. So, however, we will be flexible, and we may consider students with different backgrounds if they have work experience in the area as well. So, but they are specialist masters. Then, as I mentioned, students need a bachelor's degree with specific grades. If you are from Turkey, that is 2.5 GPA. If you are from China, that is 65% in your grade average. Also, you will need to have an English qualification, and we accept IELTS 6.5 overall, with 6 minimum in the writing, and 5.5 in the other elements of the test. Or the equivalent, it could be TOEFL, it could be Pearson. We also offer the Pre-Sessional English course delivered at Bournemouth University International College. At Bournemouth, if you are from China, you have the option as well to do the PSE, which is the Pre-Sessional English course, at our partners, Yüksek. We have an exception, which is for those students that have studied 4 years bachelor's degree in English and graduated within 2 years, we may exempt you from taking IELTS, so you can meet the English criteria to the university. In terms of tuition fees, are £14,500 for all our masters in media production programs, and we offer a scholarship, the Academic Excellence Scholarship of £3,500, which is given to you automatically if your GPA is 2.8 if you are from Turkey, or is 80% if you are from China. I know how important it is just now with the COVID situation, just to get you some, for you to get some information about the UK. So I thought just to put a little session, so we can, you can get some information about what we are doing and how the UK is coping, with the pandemic. So at the moment, the latest information that we have is that Bournemouth University will deliver face-to-face teaching or education from September 21. However, this will be subject to the government guidelines with regards to COVID. So we will have to look at that very closely near the time. But at the moment, the idea is that the university is open and we will be delivering face-to-face teaching, basically. The good news is that 75% of the adult population in the UK have received the first vaccination, and around 40% the second doses as well, which is very good news. The latest information I read about this was that the government is actually has plans to provide the vaccination to all the adult population by the autumn, the early autumn as well. So there are some traveling these restrictions at the moment for some countries, and we have like the traffic light kind of list of countries. So basically, if you are from one of the red list countries that the government has in their website, unfortunately Turkey at the moment it is, and so you will need to book in advance a government hotel to quarantine for 10 days, basically. And also you will need to take 2 PCR tests. So before you leave the country, you will need to do this. If you are from an amber list country, you will need to book in advance the test, the 2 PCR test, and quarantine in your accommodation. That could be the university's accommodation, and we will support you with food. And those 2 weeks it will be at the moment free for you as well. And then if you are from green list country, you will need to book in advance the 2 PCR tests. However, you don't need to quarantine at the moment. This is the guidelines of the government. Of course, things are changing very rapidly, so we will have to keep you updated. The best option is to go to our website. We have a further answer question session, and we will be updating that regularly. So it will be very good for you if you decide to come just to have a look at it. But also, if you are already one of our applicants, you will be getting this information through email. So we will update you and you will get all the information. So this is all from me. And now I'm going to hand you over to my colleague, Dr. Phil, who is going to talk to you about a little bit more about the programs. Just let me close my screen so Phil can talk to you. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen and we can have a look through some of the details and content Can everybody see this? I'm just going to make it as large as I can. Is that comfortable?
Yes, it's perfect. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Phil Matthews. I'm program leader for MA Scriptwriting, so I run the MA Scriptwriting course, but I'm also the framework leader. So the courses that I'm talking about today are part of a collection of courses that all work together as a kind of almost like a production house model. So we're working like industry. So the courses are MA Scriptwriting, MA Producing, MA Post-Production Editing, and MA Cinematography, and MA Sound Design for screen. So we have these courses and they all interconnect and work together with each other. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But before then, I just, again, to give a bit of a context to the department, we have 6 postgraduate courses and we have 3 undergraduate courses. And we've been established for a long time, again, back since the early 90s with the scriptwriting courses and the media production courses. And therefore, we have quite a strong connection with industry and how we kind of interrelate. So we are a centre of excellence for media practice in the UK. We won as a faculty the Queen's Anniversary Prize, and that's part of the computer animation packages and offering that we have. We also have lots and lots of award-winning students and graduates. So, for example, just recently, the Oscar-winning film Nomadland, the cinematographer for that film, Joshua James Richards, is a graduate from our department and actually did the scriptwriting course and then moved into cinematography. And we tend to get these people in for graduates and alumni in for guest lectures, so you can get an opportunity to speak to people in the industry. We have professional accreditations as a department, so we are accredited by the International Moving Image Society, and we're accredited by Select, which is an international film school accreditation body, and we also have BAFTA Albert certificate and status, which is to do with sustainability and ensuring that all of our productions are sustainable and working within the guidelines and criteria there. So we try and ensure that we are industry facing. We are thinking always about what the industry is doing and trying to make sure that our units and what we're teaching and how you are operating as students is focused on how industry kind of works. And we also have industry standard facilities. We have a new post-production facilities, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So we are very, very strong in media production and known as a kind of media production hub. Move on. So the Pearl Gateway building is this new facility that we have, which has a sound stage, it has green screen rooms, it has multicam studios, we have audio and video post-production, editing suites, labs, we have kind of mixing, a mixing theatre, Foley. So we have all these kind of elements and this is on the campus where you'll be kind of located. So you'll have teaching in this facility and you'll have access to this facility. And how we tend to work is that you will have training on all the equipment that you will need to use for your courses. So you'll do kind of camera training kits, camera training workshops or sound design workshops. And then you are expected to book out kit for your production windows or for shoots if you're working on productions, and you also have the opportunity to book out kit if you wish to kind of make your own projects as well. So that tends to happen as well in the second semester, that you are working on projects, or maybe on multiple projects, collaborating with other students within the framework of those courses that I've talked about. Okay, so here's some pictures from the Pearl Gateway building, so you can kind of get a sense of the facilities and what's on offer. So that's where we kind of have all our opportunities for students to kind of work and collaborate. And we also have other teaching rooms as well across the faculty and across the campus. But we are based at the Talbot campus, and that's where we tend to kind of operate and have all of our kind of opportunities for working and collaborating. So we are highly practical, we're skills-based, we're deeply collaborative. So we really kind of focused on ensuring that students collaborate with each other. So the script writers work with the producers to develop projects. Those projects are then developed and produced in the second semester. Cinematographers are working with directors, obviously editors are working with directors, and there's an expectation that you are helping each other, working with each other, and learning to collaborate as part of the learning process and the part of the kind of assessment process. All our tutors come from industry, so we have backgrounds in working within either film or TV, so we have opportunities to kind of tell you how, you know, and impart our own kind of information and knowledge. The units are kind of tend to be project-led, so a lot of the teaching will be about a portfolio creating, so an assessment will be a portfolio of a selection of work, so that gives you some flexibility, but it also gives you some kind of expectations in terms of what we expect to see from you, and we expect that you will learn from doing, from making, being creative. So those are the courses there, just again to clarify: MA Producing, Script Writing, Directing, Cinematography, Post-Production Editing, and Sound Design for Screen. Okay, and I think it was mentioned earlier just about, you know, when you come to the course, do you need the backgrounds or skills in a particular specialism? And we are quite flexible there. As long as you're creative and you're academic and you're kind of proactive and rigorous, then that's the kind of student we're looking for. So it's not untypical for undergraduate script writing students to move into directing or into cinematography. It's not uncommon for MA or BA, you know, media production students to then move into editing and so on. So, but we have students that come from a range of backgrounds, some from theatre, some from industry, some from academia. But we expect you to be collaborative. We expect you to be kind of open and creative and kind of experimental, and and also have a strong work ethic, because the amount of work that you'll be doing is substantial. So that's also important in terms of what we're looking for in prospective students. Okay, so the courses are kind of set up in, we have a semester system at Bournemouth, so we're in 3 semesters. And they run from September to August. So you'll be submitting your master's project in August 2022. So the first 2 units that you will encounter in semester 1, the storytelling unit is shared across the whole framework. So you'll be in lecture theatres with everyone from the postgraduate framework. And that's a unit that's looking at storytelling, narrative structures, but it also, there's an expectation that you can make a creative artifact and then discuss it critically and reflect on it. So, but that is a shared unit across the entire framework. And then you will have your course specific unit, which may be directing across genres or script writing across genres. So you have specific focused units that help to develop your skill base and to develop your kind of your portfolio in your chosen specialism. In semester 2, which begins the kind of midway through January, we have the professional practice unit and then again a course specific unit. So the professional practice unit again is shared across the framework, and it's focused on you developing your sense of yourself as a brand in terms of what your kind of your USP is, your CV, your statement as a professional, also about a kind of strategy and plan for moving into industry. So looking at kind of potential companies, sending letters out. So it's starting for you to think more strategically and more long term about where you see yourself within industry and what industry you're focused on, and making some kind of steps towards that with your work and presenting yourself professionally. And then the course specific unit could be, so in script writing, it's creating and developing stories. It could be advanced sound design, but again, it's a portfolio based piece of work where you may be creating, say, 4 or 5 pieces of work, and again, critically reflecting on them in some way. So you're building through the year a portfolio of work and starting to kind of really kind of, you know, build and establish a sense of your own voice and how you're kind of working and collaborating with others. And then that builds up to the master's production project. And there's an option here of master's production project or master's research project, because some students start to be interested in the more kind of academic and research approach. And that unit is a big unit that you're building up to. And it actually starts for the current students next week. And it runs all the way through to the middle of August, and that is where you are kind of supervised with tutors supporting you through a substantial piece of work. So script writers, it may be a feature film screenplay or a TV series and TV series Bible. It may be a series of films. It may be a kind of production portfolio. It may be editing various kind of master's projects across other students. It's a lot of kind of collaboration, but it's building up a portfolio of work. And that's the kind of whole kind of ethos, I suppose, of the courses, is that you are building creative work, you're establishing your voice, but you're also all the way through that process thinking about your process, interrogating your kind of practice and how you approach things, and critically reflecting on it. So you are aware of your strengths, you're aware of areas that you need to kind of develop and kind of build for strongest kind of skills. And that's the process as we kind of take you through the masters. Okay, so here are the units in a little bit more detail. So you can see there, MA directing, script writing and producing, and the specific units for producing are developing and selling ideas, production management, which are key kind of aspects of production. And then for MA script writing, as I said, you've got script writing across platforms and genres and creative story development. And then for directing, you have directing across platforms and genres, and then directing and developing stories. So typically for directing, you will be working on an individual piece that you're directing in the first semester. And then the second semester, you're directing a collaborative project with a producer and a script writer's script. So you're starting to work with writers and producers and understand that dynamic. And you're not just directing your own projects that you're writing. The expectation is that you're collaborating across the framework, because that's what would happen often in industry. And then for MA sound design, post-production and cinematography, there you can see their specific units are sound design and theory for sound, extended sound design project. Again, these are both portfolio assessments, approaches to editing and developing editing principles and practice. Again, portfolios of work where you're editing specific projects and looking at certain kind of aspects of style and tone and so on. And then cinematography, you're looking again individually in the first semester with maybe working on your own projects and maybe very small projects, and then again moving into collaboration as you go into semester 2. The way that all of these courses kind of how they collaborate is quite light touch, so it's not formally assessed, but we have production houses where you assign and align yourself with a production house, and then within that house you're attached to that production house, and the expectation is that you working with the producers or working with the directors and the writers start to kind of establish what productions and what projects you're going to develop and produce, and then you are committed to developing and producing that work, so as it would be within industry. So that's the kind of model that we try and emulate. Okay, so guest lectures. So here's just a short list actually of the guest lectures. So we have a weekly guest lecture series that runs through the year, and we get in a mix of alumni and we get in a mix of industry contacts. So recently we had Miss Nsage, who's a Hollywood screenwriter and has written screenplays and worked with Halle Berry and with Oprah Winfrey. The man in the middle with the glasses is the editor of the upcoming Mission Impossible film, and also he's just edited the latest Tom Cruise Top Gun film. That's Eddie Hamilton. We also have alumni who are now kind of working very well within the industry as directors, as writers, as editors. We also have Georgia Brown, who's the head of European Originals at Amazon Prime, and she is a commissioner, and again come from our department. So we have lots and lots of contacts within industry, and we get them in for we've been getting them in as a kind of Q&A, and I tend to kind of run this series. So I would ask questions, and then students would post questions in the chat, and they get kind of answered as well. So there's a sense of a community that's not just at the university here and now, but there's a whole legacy of a kind of connected kind of network of alumni who have moved on and started to kind of really make some serious inroads within the industry, nationally and internationally. Okay. So again, a few graduates here just to kind of see you know, the type of graduates that we have, but we have lots and lots and lots. And part of our kind of accreditation is that we need to be in contact with all our alumni and graduates. So we have that kind of open dialogue all the time. So as I said, the most recent success was with James Richards, who has just shot Nomadland, or as you know, which is the kind of Oscar-winning feature film. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. It's fantastic. Okay, and some more producers here. Michelle Vars, producer and a commissioner at the BBC. Again, we try and kind of draw on our contacts and bring them in, and we also kind of have conversations whenever we kind of developing any of our teaching to ensure that we are, you know, industry facing with our units. Okay, and one more there. Again, a director who's done kind of lots of stuff on TV. And that's it. I'll stop sharing. There's Bournemouth from an aerial view. That's not shot by one of our students, just to say, if you're worried, you don't have to go that high. Okay, so I'm stopping there. If I press stop sharing, I can still see. Can anyone see me? Am I back on?
Yes, everyone can see you now. Thank you ever so much, Phil. That was a really interesting presentation, and with a lot of information from, yeah, no, very good. You know, the students can have a lot of information about the structure of the course, you know, employment opportunities, how good our graduates can do in the future as well, the links with the industry. So I'm sure that they will appreciate your time, you know, to come today to join us in this webinar, you know, to provide this information for the students. Thank you. And now, Talia, I think you have prepared a short presentation as well, and you want to talk to the students a little bit more to share your experience as a Bournemouth University student. So it's all, I hand it to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nuria. Hi, everyone. This is Talia. I'm a former student of BU. I'm currently an alumni. I've completed 2 courses with BU. One was in clinical psychology, and the current one that I've just finished last week is marketing communications. So marketing communications is in the media faculty. So if you have questions around the faculty, I could answer. But if there's specific questions around the unit, probably Dr. Matthews would answer better. I'll be sharing my screen now. And if you have specific questions around it, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll be answering them after. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay. Can you all see it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of the academic studies, I would like to say that it's slightly different to the Turkish system. For example, because I've done my undergraduate in Turkey, what we did was it was mainly more theoretical rather than practical. But at BU, you'll be able to do more practical work around the studio, or a lot of time for self-study. So you have contact hours, which means hours with your lecturers, which are 8 to 12 hours, but it would depend on each course. But you have more time for self-learning and independent study. You'll spend a lot of time, for example, in the new building, or in the library, or with your friends around the campus. There are a lot of learning resources. You can access them through Brightspace, which is our student system, or the library. You will have your own login and access to all the films, production, and the studio materials. In terms of employability, some of you asked about like whether the uni has partnership with other services or other organizations. Yes, we are very proud of what we do. So BU has very strong links with the industry. So you have a lot of options, opportunities to do part-time jobs. We have a service called Careers Advice. You can go, they can specifically create a CV for yourself, personal statement, a cover letter, and you can do an internship with a company. And after you graduate, because they know you, they will be able to offer you a position so that you could stay continue doing that job. You could earn awards as well as part of either the media faculty or as part of your degree. You could earn a lot of awards, which I'll be covering later on about my awards during my studies at BU. So in terms of my personal experience, I worked with the NHS because I was working as a psychologist. So I worked as a psychologist within National Health Service. I worked for uni as a blogger as part of this role as a student ambassador. I wrote a lot of blogs helping like students around the world. So you can still access them as well. If you put my name in a browser, you can see what I've written in blogs. On YouTube, you can watch them all. If you put Talia Bournemouth University, you can learn all about the uni. I've earned awards for this role as well as a student ambassador, which I'm using for my CV. In my current job, again, I've received a lot of awards, providing workshops and everything. So all these are great for your CV. And this was all thanks to BU and the Career Service. So for media, if you're looking for a specific internship, go and speak to your lecturers and be assertive. And that will be very fruitful. As Nuria mentioned as well, Bournemouth is a really good town. It's not very expensive and it's not very cheap. It's very affordable for students. It has a 7-mile long beach. You can always go to the beach from your accommodation, 10 minutes walk. Because it's a student city, it's safe as well, because I've lived in different cities in the UK and Bournemouth is currently my favorite. And to find out more, you can find me on Unibuddy. I'll be on Unibuddy starting from 4th of June. So if you go to Unibuddy, which I will be sending you the link, you would put the area of study or the country. If you put Turkey as country, for example, I would pop up and you could ask me all your questions. You can also go to BU International to Instagram page and then follow us and see what the international students are doing. Lastly, some of you asked about the allowance after studying. So for example, currently when you apply for a master's, you will have a 2-year visa, but the government has just introduced a new rule. You will have a 2-year extra visa with your master's and 3 years extra with your doctorates if you apply for that extension, which is really good because if you are already studying, you have a part-time job, you finished your studies and you want to still stay in the country, do the job that you like, you can extend your visa and stay there for 2 more years, which is really good and really great. That's all for me. If you have any specific questions, please put it in the chat and I'll be answering them shortly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Talia. That was very good as well and fantastic information for our students today. I couldn't catch up with all the questions that are coming through, and thank you so much for looking after the chat. I can see that you have answered much of them. I think it will be actually very good for the recording as well and for the rest of the audience if we can go through some of them again, and just in case not all the students have the time to look at the questions. So okay, there are a few of them that I would like to pick up, and one of them is with regards to whether Bournemouth accommodation is affordable instead of the accommodation from the university. I think we have one student interested in this. To be honest, it will depend what would you like to rent, basically. My experience and for what I can see is the university accommodation is more affordable. Also, we ensure that all the students have the safety that they need as well, which is really important. However, if you are prepared to share accommodation, a room in a private house, maybe you could find cheaper options, but that is an option in there, but that doesn't guarantee that the safety is going to be there. You see, so you will need to look at, what is more important for you. You could find something that is cheaper than the accommodation that we offer at the university. However, you will not have the support from the university if something happens to you with regards to issues with your own accommodation. So it's a little bit tricky, but that is my point of view. And I think Talia is as well now renting private accommodation, and she's very happy in there, but it's just like, to find the right place, sometimes it's difficult. So that's it. There was another question with regards to the Erasmus programs and whether we provide Erasmus programs now that we are basically with Brexit situation. My understanding is that we have now something called touring program, which is touring program actually, which is the replacement of Erasmus and exchange programs. I don't know exactly how it works or the differences between both the Erasmus and the touring program, which is the new replacement. So I am happy to take your question out of the chat and come back to you privately. I will send your email to the specific department at the university. I don't look after Erasmus program, so I will not know what is now available for our students instead of the Erasmus or exchange programs. But what I know is that the government has signed up an agreement that is called now touring program, which is the replacement. I don't know if Phil, do you know anything about the touring programs, what we used to have as Erasmus? Sorry, you are mute.
Apologies, no, I'm not sure.
No, okay, that is fine. Yeah, okay. So that is basically that question. Then we have another question with regards to, can you still apply for September entry? Yes, the answer is yes. We do have places available still, and we are processing applications. However, some courses are really popular, and that doesn't guarantee that we will be able to offer you a place. At the moment, we are accepting applications for most of our programs. There are only a couple of programs that they are already in waiting list, but the media production programs are all open for recruitment. If you decide to apply, I will suggest you send me an email because I can process your application faster. Otherwise, we have in the system around 2,000 applications that we are still processing. So if you are really interested in joining us, I will recommend you to send me a private email just to let me know that you have applied and that you are really interested in joining us. And I will ensure that your application gets prioritized. Okay. And then there was another question with regards to the work permit. As an international student, now the government has implemented what we call the GIR, which is the graduate immigration route. And that is available to all international students that graduate with a master's or a bachelor's degree. They can stay in the UK for an additional 2 years to work in any industry, basically. So yes, the answer is yes, you will have to pass your bachelor's or your master's degree in order to be able to apply for this. I think Talia is now looking into applying for her GIR visa. And I don't know if you want to add anything else, Talia, to that.
So they are opening the applications on the 1st of July. Currently, my visa is expiring in October, so I can either apply on 1st of July or before my visa expires. So I'm planning to apply around September so that I can still make use of the 2 months I have. But you definitely have the option. You would need to show that you have successfully completed your current undergraduate or postgraduate course. Currently, they're not asking you to show any funding or any bank balance. That's what I've heard. And there's no limit for students to apply for this visa, so you can all apply before your visa expires. You're eligible to apply. So it's starting 1st of July in a month.
Okay, thank you. There was also another question with regards to whether we have links with the industry, if it's opportunity for students to do some internship in this area. Perhaps, Phil, can you just provide a little bit additional information in that?
Yeah, so we do, as undergraduate courses, we have a placement office. And so all undergraduate students have to complete a placement within industry. That's kind of mandatory. For postgraduate, we don't offer that directly because it becomes complicated in terms of visas and so on. However, we have all these links that we run through. So the guest lectures are open to everybody. Those connections are kind of open to everybody. And part of the professional practice unit is about you starting to really think about how you're going to kind of make those inroads into industry. And even with, however, though, with the placement office and even with our connections, and we have lots, we have connections with Disney, an ongoing connection with Disney and with Channel 4 and other kind of companies as well. But even with those, the expectation is on the student to reach out and make those contacts. We don't broker connections directly and say, just here you go. The expectation is always on the student to make those connections and to contact those companies. But the reassurance for students is that we have connections, and the expectation for industry is that, oh, they've been to Bournemouth University, therefore, you know, or we know that particular course or whatever. So that's how we kind of manage it, because we can't guarantee placements, and they change every year. So this year or last year with COVID, we've made them optional. So if you can and it's possible, fine. If you can't, we're not going to penalize students. But we have kind of connections, and we tend to kind of suggest and make, as part of the professional practice unit, we are expecting you to establish a career plan and be realistic about it, but also to be practical and proactive about it as well.
Thank you. Yes, you know, one of the things as well that students can enjoy from studying with us is that they will hear directly from the professionals as well. We have guest lectures coming to talk to our students about their introducing their companies, you know, to talk about the skills that they are looking for as well. So it's very much embedded in the whole university. So we always ensure, apart from developing programs where we work very closely with the industry to ensure that the students develop those skills that the industries are looking for, we have those connections as well. And of course, the huge and the very good reputation that we have in our Faculty of Media and Communications, particularly in the media production program. So we are very well known, and that will help the students when they are looking for jobs to get an interview at least, because of course the industry knows perfectly what we provide and how we teach and the facilities that our students use. So yes, opportunities are in there, definitely, for our students. So thank you, Phil. And yes, we have another question with regards to the English program, whether we offer pre-sessional English courses at the university. We do offer the pre-sessional English program, and that is delivered with our partner college. So it's Bournemouth University International College, and the students can join for, depends on the level of your English, but you can join in different stages of the program. So I will suggest or recommend you have a look at the university website under the international qualifications, and you will see the programs that we offer. If you are from China, we do offer as well a pre-sessional English program with one of our partners, which is Yüksek in China. So again, the information is in our website, and or you are very welcome to contact me, and I can send you the link and the information that you need. I have left my email in the chat, so you are very welcome to contact me if you have any other further questions as well. So I don't know if I have actually answered all the questions or I missed anything else, Talia. I know that you've been very good keeping. Oh, there was another question with regards to YOK accreditation for Turkish students. Just to let you know that YOK will recognize any UK degrees that are 4 years bachelor's degree or any master's programs. I think as long, I think the minimum is 2 years for a course to be recognized by YOK. So it could be a diploma, it could be a foundation course, or it could be a bachelor's degree, because the length of the programs are longer, are 2 or 3, 4 years, or even the master program, which are all recognized by YOK. So that is the answer.
I think that's all the questions.
Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to conclude the session. And I would like to thank you first, all our students in the chat for joining us today. I hope that was useful for you. And if you have any other questions, please come back to me. You are welcome to send me an email, as I mentioned before. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank again Dr. Phil Matthews for your kind time and for your fantastic presentation. And it's been very, very useful even for me, just to learn more about the programs. And thank you, Talia, for sharing your experiences with our students. It's been very interesting as well, and I'm sure that they will contact you in Unibody to get more information from you. And finally, but not least, I would like to thank IEFT Fair for organizing this for us. Zeynep, thank you. So this is all from the Bournemouth University team. And so with this, I will say to everyone, goodbye, keep safe, and hopefully I will see you in September.
Yes, thank you very much for your great presentation, Nuria, Phil, and Talia. We had a lot of questions and you covered them all. Thank you for your answers too. And I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Bournemouth University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Nuria'nın paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden iletişime geçebilir ve linkleri inceleyebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda sizi altıdaki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you again. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.